Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, hello, hello. Let me know if you can see and hear me okay, please. This is going to be a group energy healing live stream where I heal 128 people in 12 countries. And we will do all sorts of healing and repair of chakras and auras and grounding, etc. That helps in so many ways. But then specifically, we will also work a theme, as this is the second in the set of 3 healings, working the theme Dream Big, clear inner obstacles so that you can dream, imagine, wonder, take back your innocence, have well-informed optimism, all sorts of good stuff. Oh good, thanks for my confirmation. I appreciate that. If other people want to say hi, let me know you can see and hear me. Let me know where you're watching from. That's always kind of fun for me. I don't know if it's fun for anyone else, but it is cool. Thank you for surveys. I read most of them. I will catch up on a couple, like a couple in the middle I missed, I think. Didn't have, but I will get to all of them. And I appreciate them. I appreciate the time it takes to write them. You don't have to spend a lot of time on it, obviously. It's more just like a thing I use to read your energy. Like, I mean, I can read people's energy anyway, just with their first and last name, but to have the conscious feedback of how someone has been doing really jumpstarts my reading, because then I sort of, yeah, long story short, it helps as I'm planning the next healing. So it did clarify that there were, I want to say like 3 parts of the Friday healing that were the strongest, in that, I mean, everything sort of is part of a whole, you know, so you can't, it all was helpful. But as far as dreaming big, part of that is you create, part 1 of that is you create your big dreams. Dreams as in, not dreams as in goals and plans. Dreams. But dreams as in also that sort of wonder kind of filled aspect of it too, with the innocence and the hopefulness and the, you know, acknowledging your positive possibilities, that kind of dreaming. So anyway, but step 1 is you create dreams on the astral with your angels, these positive plans, let's say. That's different than dreaming, you know, what people say as dreaming, you know, that's different. But you're creating these, let's say, positive plans and goals with your angels in your sleep. That's step 1. And sometimes, well, often or most of the time, your potential, your positive possibilities are limited by, you know, junk in your energy field. So even though your angels want to help you create the most amazing dreams possible, plans and goals possible, you have internal limitations, and they, you know, it's like, it makes you not as good of a student of your angels as teachers. So we specifically cleared out blocks in the astral body 7th chakra and astral body 4th chakra, so that you are less limited in that way, and so your angels can work with you more easily to create big dreams and goals in your sleep. And then step 2 is bringing them in when you're awake, bringing in that energy that you created with your angels in your sleep. Sort of an advanced part of step 2 is you start to realize some of these ideas and these dreams, and like, oh, that's possible. Yeah, maybe that's a good idea, you know. So but bringing in the energy of those dreams and plans and goals That's step 2, and we healed inner wounds so that you'd be more readily able to do that. Like, they automatically come in if your body's at the right vibration, but if you don't heal your inner wounds enough, then your body's not at the right vibration, so they come in like really slowly, or they just kind of queue up and wait on the astral, your dreams and plans, that energy. So anyway, those were the 2 sort of paired up components of the Friday healing, and we'll repeat those today. And I imagine we'll repeat those on Tuesday as well, just because the more you do it, the more it helps. And then we did other cool stuff, but I think the biggest impact, third thing that we did, which we will again do more of today, is CV, GV, and UB, the meridian work. The body meridians, CV and GV, as well as urinary bladder meridian, just the part in the head. So there's a playlist if you ever want to, study those meridians and the points on them. But in the healing, I just pretty much didn't spend much time teaching about it. I just focused on healing and repairing the little chakras within those meridians. So I think I'll do it that way today too. Because there is, in the comment section under the detailed healing summary, once it's up there, I do put, links to a meridian playlist. And there's a video, like a minute video on, say, the UB meridian if you wanted to study the points on it. So anyway, so those were the 3 components from Friday that we'll repeat today on Sunday, and most likely on Tuesday as well. And I did see they had a big impact on people in a nice way, thanks to surveys. So thank you. And due to surveys, I realized that today we're doing some inner child healing as well. So that'll be sort of a major aspect that we will do to help you get back your sense of wonder and your, some more innocence. And so that should be nice. Hopefully that'll have a like a restorative, comforting, uplifting kind of effect. So I'm gonna check out my comments. Thank you so much for saying hi, everybody. So this is hi, Janet. Can see and hear you. Hi from rainy Chicagoland. Wow, we don't have any rain for months. So you have a lot of rain. Someone says hello. Thank you for the flower. Hi, Janet from Michigan. Hi from humid San Francisco. Can see and hear you. Happy to be here. Hello, hello. Hey, Janet. We can hear and see you. My sister is going to watch for her first time. I'm excited. Well, hello to her too. Hey, hey. Also, hello from Las Vegas. Hello. Hello, Janet from British Columbia, Canada. Hello, my neighbor to the north. Hey, Janet, we can see and hear you in Chicago. Good morning from sunny Portland, Oregon, just south of me, like 2-hour drive with traffic, probably. Thank you for today. You're welcome. Thank you for watching. Alrighty. Is there anything else I wanted to mention? We may do something to heal the sinuses, because somebody mentioned sinus issues on their survey, and that kind of intrigued me, so I think we may be working the sinuses a little bit. We'll see. Yeah. Somebody mentioned a migraine. Obviously that's not a positive experience. I think in that person's case, we did that meridian work in the head, which normally the effect would be the opposite of a migraine. It'd be like more focus. So typically, if you have the opposite result, it's usually like an invasive spirit or two or three, little invasive beings, not giant like you are and mighty like you are, but just little stupid little things that got kicked out of that area that are trying to get their old spot back. And so that they're like trying to push their way back in is what's causing the headache sensation. So you would just ask your angels. You just imagine like a big cloud, any invasive beings trying to get back into their old spot in your space, and say, angels, can you recycle all these beings? And you can do that a few times. And maybe, redo the healing here, just like lots of gold light. You don't have to understand which points, which meridians, just like lots of gold light for your head. But usually, yeah, when you have the opposite of, because if you have like GV meridian on the head kind of issues, or even UB meridian in the head issues, you could get a headache, like chakra damage, meridian damage. You could feel headaches. But like I said, what we're doing is the opposite of that. We're repairing, we're restoring. So it's odd that you would have a headache, not impossible, but it's because then whatever we kicked out was trying to get back in. So just have your angels permanently kick it out. But as I do the work today, though, I will do a lot of invasive being cleanouts to help prevent that, so you don't even have that drama. But just, I have a lot of veterans who are very well seasoned, and this information is not over their heads. So I just wanted to mention that if you have the opposite effect, it's usually some invasive beings just trying to reverse the effects of the healing. Get you less present. And I will be taking notes, of course, and there will be a detailed healing summary, which I will probably do today, because today's going to be very hot, so it'll be too hot for me to garden. I did some gardening on Friday. That's why the healing summary was late on Saturday. But yeah, today's too hot. Someone says, I'd like the sinuses also. Thanks. Yeah, we will definitely do sinuses. Sinuses. They're fun because you can kind of imagine the energy blocks in there and just clean them out. They're like, little passages, that end up with your nose, but, you go back and you just imagine the energy passages and you ground them and you clean them out. So it's fun to work those. So why not? Not really directly related to dreaming big, but if your sinuses distract you from sleeping and being happy, then that gets in the way of dreaming big. And we don't want that. So the 7th and 4th astral, we'll do more of that. The healing inner wounds, yeah, we'll do more of that. And then, of course, GV, CV, UB. Can't get enough of that. And then inner child. Okay. All right, cool. So I think the other things I saw is just that like people needed more repair of the chakras within the meridians, GV and CV and UB. Because all those acupuncture points within the meridian, the energy pathway, are little chakras. And they can get just banged up or cracked or blown up. And then the energy like diverts out of the meridian rather than going all the way through it, and you're much less centered and effective that way, and you get leaky, and we don't want that. So, I mean, we always do chakra repair of all chakras, major and minor, but I've been noticing that sometimes the little chakras sometimes chakras can be a little stubborn and resistant to repair if they have like junk stuck in there, too much junk. So I'm just going to keep an eye on that because I noticed as I was reading the surveys that the chakra repair within the meridians, the minor chakra repair within the meridians helped, but people need it more. So we'll see how that goes. All right, we can see who, let's see. I'm feeling great today. Yesterday's healing took a full day to kick in, but I can really feel the stronger energy flow and peace from the healing. Oh, good. Yeah, that's why I send the survey so late on the healing day, because I'd rather that people get a good night's sleep and then fill it out sometime the day after the healing, because a lot of times it's just different. Like, you know, getting a good night's sleep helps you process, and then you come in again. And okay, cool. So, I've talked more than enough, I'm sure. Thank you for indulging me. Hope it made sense. And let's do the quiet time where I don't talk for about 3 minutes or so, while I finish my prep and say hi telepathically to all the people that I'll be healing, and just to make sure everyone's aware that the healing's about to start. And then you'll see me during that quiet time. I'll start to move my hands like that, and that's how you know I've started the healing. And then shortly after that, I'll talk out loud and begin the walkthrough part. And so during the walkthrough, it's like an all levels walkthrough. You can heal yourself as you listen if you wish. So that's that. So thank you for your patience during this 3 or so minutes of quiet. You can, you know, do whatever you want, chill out, relax. Okay, thanks for waiting. So, when you heal yourself, go ahead and make a copy out in front of you of the of yourself, and then you make that with your intention. You don't have to see energy yet to be able to make a copy of your own energy out in front of you. And so your auras, your physical body, and your astral body are inside there, and then your groundings, which are your connections to the core of the earth. There are two groundings that you would ideally have. One is for your physical body and your physical body's aura, and the other is for your astral body and your astral body's aura. So let's do grounding first. Grounding is one of the four essentials. Four essentials meaning the things you want to do and double check to make sure you're feeling good. So for grounding, just go ahead and recreate it. Make it nice and wide as the heel of the palm of your hand if you had your hands outstretched. You can make it a red grounding. Test that out for yourself. Red all the way down to the core of the earth, nice and wide all the way down. Make an orange grounding instead. Get rid of that one, make a yellow grounding. And see which of those felt better for you. And you can just guess if you don't know. And use the color that worked best. Then you can make a copy out in front of you of your grounding and clean it out. And I would suggest you use your hands. They generate a lot of energy. You have a big hand chakra in the palm of each hand, plus fingertip chakras, one in each fingertip. And they have round openings. Chakras have round openings. And you set the chakra with your intention. You don't have to be able to see energy, but with your intention, set the round openings of those chakras to be just the ones in your hands to be a metallic gold color. And that would allow them to generate. The energy they're generating then would be at that metallic gold color, which is nice. It's a fast moving vibration, but not too fast. So it helps you repair and let go and get unstuck and be at non-resistance, all of that. So you have that copy of your grounding out in front of you, and just imagine the energy blocks. They can seem like stacks of flat rocks or giant rocks. And just melt them with the gold light. Sometimes you might not notice the blocks in your grounding. That's why we spend so much time on it, because you just clear some and then you look for more, clear more, and look for more. You might not notice some blocks because maybe everyone you know is blocked in the same way in your grounding. So just kind of be aware of oh, okay, is there a stack of blocks in my grounding that's just like everyone in my workplace? And then find that stack of energy blocks and just melt them away out of your grounding. Or is there a stack of energy blocks that has to do with political junk? And I didn't notice it because so many people have it, and just melt it away. As part of dreaming big is you unmatch from everybody else so that you can individuate. All right, so that's creating your grounding and unblocking your grounding. And again, you want it as wide as your aura, basically. So, because it connects your auras down to the core of the earth and lets them release as well as possible. The back of your grounding connects to the back of your auras. So it's really nice to have those release properly all the time. So I'm just double checking the back of the auras and the back of the grounding, going all the way down to the core of the earth. A lot of times if you feel stressed out, it's just you have a backlog. Well, you could have aura damage and chakra damage if you feel stressed out, but if it's not that and everything got repaired, you could just have a backlog of blocks that have kind of queued up, and it just doesn't feel good. So let's melt all that. Okay, cool. So that was grounding and grounding and blocking, especially in the back. So then let's do indie grounding, which is easy. So you just think of that outer surface of your grounding as it goes all the way down, and just use gold light and melt away any connections from your grounding to other people's grounding, because it won't work as well that way. And if you're aware of other people trying to connect, you know, maybe they have positive intentions, they just don't understand how grounding works. Just say, hey, go check your own grounding. Go ask your angels for help with grounding. It'll help you have a good day. Go talk to your angels. Sometimes if you're unable to disconnect certain people from your grounding, it's because there are energy blocks within your grounding that they're anchored into. So you just find those energy blocks that those people are anchored into, and you melt the energy blocks, and then they won't be able to connect to your grounding. Okay, so that was indie grounding, but then we also did melting blocks within the grounding that people are corded to. Because that's the thing. I mean, if people are courting you, they're courting. There's some problem within you that enables them to cord, and usually it's just a bunch of energy blocks. Could be also damage, like aura damage, chakra damage, and that allows them to kind of anchor the cord in there. So you can't. I mean, if you just melt the cord but leave all the baggage and the damage within you, it's easy for them to cord back pretty soon afterwards. So you melt the cord, but then you look to see, do I have baggage there that I need to melt? Do I need any repairs there? Oh, right. Good job. Speaking of which, let's do aura repair for your 17 auras. 17 auras meaning physical body aura, astral body aura, and then 15 Wei Chi auras. Wei Chi, W-E-I-C-H-I. Is a Chinese medicine term, but then Wei Chi auras is something that the angels taught me. So there are 15 Wei Chi auras, and they help with strong energy boundaries. help even on a physical level as far as like immune system, but also just energy boundaries with other people. Okay, so you imagine all 17 auras in one place out in front of you. And then let's just evaluate first. You know, lots of gold light, comb through, just see, do you feel like there's a lot of, you know, holes and gashes and missing parts of these 17 auras? And it's okay if you can't sense anything, you can still heal. But it's good to practice sensing things. All right, so then to repair the rips, even if they're small or big, let's use composite copy technique, where you imagine one rip and you have the intention that that one rip represents, it's a composite copy, it represents all the rips in your 17 auras that are healthy and gentle to repair right now. So as you repair the one rip, you're repairing all those rips. So you imagine your one rip and you just use gold light, your composite copy rip. And use lots of gold light. And you can use sticky gold wax, which is gold light you make, but you have the intention that it hardens and sticks to what's not you, so that you can lift it out like a big chunk and give it to your angels. So fill up the rip with sticky gold wax, so it sticks to whatever's not you in there, and just give that all to your angels, the wax and the junk. Angels, here you go. And then again, fill the rip with sticky gold wax, and then take it all out as a chunk. Here you go, angels. And now, since you did that clean out, you should get really good contact with the ripped part, and it should, if you use enough gold light, it should fully repair. Sometimes, you know, you can, like, most of them repair, but then like 2 of them are a little stubborn. So that's why sometimes I kind of backtrack, even when I feel like most of them are healed. I'm just like, okay, well, are there some rips that are still needing a little more gold light? And then I work on those. Because, you know, within all those auras, 17 auras, there could be a couple rips that just need a little extra gold light to fully repair. Okay, so that's aura repair, and then melting away aura scarring is another thing that we'll do. Scarring is hard and bumpy. It's on the outer surface of any of the auras, and it is from, you know, like leftover from aura damage, and it makes your aura weaker to have the hard scarring. So you just pile all the aura scarring into one place and melt it away. So all your aura scarring from your 17 auras, and just melt it away with gold light. Keep breathing and relax, because this is a bit of a shift. Take your time. Okay, and if you have any leftovers, the angels help you heal that. So then there's aura bruising, which is similar, but it's in those 2 regular auras. Those 2 regular auras, your physical body and your astral body, they each have 7 layers, like layers of an onion. And when you get energy thrown at you, if it doesn't tear everything up, the energy can kind of bounce around in there and just create bruising. So usually it's like multiple layers in a certain spot in your aura. You'll have some aura bruising. So it's easy to heal, just pile it all in one spot. So pile all your aura bruising into one spot and melt it away with gold light. So technically you piled copies of your aura bruising into one spot and you're melting it away with gold light. Okay, cool. So let's do sticky gold wax, just to get other junk out of all your 17 auras. And we'll just do your everything with sticky gold wax. So you just fill up everything, the outer surfaces of the 17 auras, inside, the grounding. So with sticky gold wax, that's gold light, but it's going to stick to everything that's not you, that's healthy and gentle to get rid of. And then you're going to move the wax out with the junk. Angels, here you go. Deep breath, breathe into every major joint. A few deep breaths. So we can do that again. Just sticky gold wax your everything. All your 17 auras, the outside of them, the insides of them, your astral body, your physical body, both of your groundings, all your chakras, major and minor, all your energy channels. And just have the gold wax stick to whatever you are ready to get rid of that's healthy and gentle, and just move all that out all at once. Angels, here you go. All right, so then we just finish up with repair. Around the outer surface, just a little extra gold light. Make sure that if there are any little holes, you heal them up. Okay, so then redo your gold buffer zones. Just takes a second. Those are big, giant force fields of gold light that you create and you attach to your auras, your 2 regular auras. So you have 2 gold buffer zones. And they just help, I'm going to get rid of a spammer. They just help protect your aura against aura damage. I mean, the buffer zones can get damaged, of course, but hopefully you kind of notice that they're damaged and then you recreate them before someone can hack through those and then hack through your actual auras. So it's a buffer. I have an 18-minute reference video that teaches all that, that will be linked in the healing summary for the gold buffer zones. All right. So then creative rings are the next in the essentials. We did a particularly thorough creative ring work 2 days ago. So today's I might do a little faster, we'll see. just because we did so much 2 days ago on creative rings. So you just imagine copies. Creative rings are up here, 1, 2, 3 gold rings. They're part of your astral body energy system. You as a spirit, they generate an inspiring gold light that goes down and helps your 7th chakra and can give a nice boost to actually all your major chakras along your spine. So just imagine copies of your 3 gold creative rings, and just they can be cracked, they can be broken. So you just use so much gold light that whatever's broken gets repaired. Example of somebody who got their creative rings repaired 2 days ago, but they need it again now, is somebody has conflicts with their siblings, and they tend to trigger their siblings. Like their siblings are, you know, pretty stuck and all that, but they kind of like poke the bear, you know. They don't just leave it be. They like feel like their siblings should be basically different people than they are, which, you know, good luck with that. So anyway, so that's how he got his creative rings trashed since the Friday healing. Okay, so that's basic creative ring repair. You just use so much gold light that the cracks heal up, the broken, shattered parts grow back. Then you can turn the copy upside down and just heal you can get like scratches and scarring underneath on the underside of the creative ring. So you can just use extra gold light to wash that off and heal up the damaged parts. This is the underside of your 3 creative rings. All right, you can turn them right side up again. And then sticky gold wax, we can do that for the creative rings, the 3 gold creative rings, and your 7th chakra, your astral body 7th and your physical body 7th. You can just imagine them together. So it looks like one cylinder shape, but it's your astral body chakra inside your physical body chakra. So it looks like an open cylinder, kind of like this, like a cylinder part, and then round opening, round opening. So sticky gold wax the whole thing, your 3 gold creative rings and your 2 astral body 7th chakras. Your 7th chakra's in your head, in the top of your head, by the way. But anyway, so with this sticky gold wax, you're just having it stick to whatever's not you, cords from other people, invasive beings, junk, energy blocks, invasive people's energy. And then you're going to have the wax and the junk move to the side. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Sticky gold wax the whole thing, including cords from other people. And just move all that junk to the side. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. And again, if people are cording, it's probably because there's blocked energy and or damage, and so it just makes it easy for them to cord there. So a little extra repair and unblocking of your 7th chakras. And your creative rings. Look at the creative ring flaps. Imagine the creative ring flaps of your top creative ring especially. So this is an example of what it would look like if your creative ring flaps were irritated and sticking out. So like if people are cording your top creative ring, this is like a top-down view. So if people are cording, they're sending energy in, which is irritating the creative ring, and that sort of pops out all the flaps. So the more you just melt away any cords from that top creative ring, the more the flaps relax, and then they kind of fall completely shut. They fall like more and more and more shut, and then they just are flush with the ring, so you don't even see the flaps sticking out anymore. And typically, once the flaps are shut, there's a nice chain reaction because all your chakras, your other creative rings, and all your chakras have flaps around the round openings. And so once your top creative ring relaxes so much that the flaps are shut, it tends to facilitate all the other flaps shutting, so that you still have the flow through the round openings, but the flaps aren't open around the round opening, and that just makes you harder to cord. Helps your boundaries. So I was just combing through like creative rings and all the major chakras right there. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just helping them all to relax. Okay, so all right, so that was creative ring repair and unblocking, including repair of the undersides, unblocking with sticky gold wax, the creative rings and the 7th chakras, and then just letting the creative ring flaps relax enough by melting cords and energy blocks away, so that then you get that nice chain reaction through all your chakras and your creative rings. And then I just did an little extra gold light through your creative rings and all your major chakras along your spine. Oh, right, good job. Woohoo! Chakra repair. Let's do it, baby. Each of, really everything that I'm doing, I try to do like a standalone short video too, just because people kind of freak out with these long size of videos. So sometimes like mentally, it feels less scary, I guess, to have a short video. So there is a short video just on creative ring repair, which is pretty thorough. I think it has all the stuff we just did in it, and that's like maybe 14 minutes. And then a chakra repair video, there is a standalone one that's just as thorough as what we're about to do. That is 11 minutes long. So generally those are linked below the healing summary. Those little standalone ones. Okay, so chakra repair, you just, we're going to use composite copy technique again. So you make one chakra and you have it represent all your major and minor chakras of your body and spirit, including all the cool acupuncture points in your physical body. Those are little chakras. So you just imagine one chakra shape. Looks like, this in a way. The cylinder part, the round opening, and the round opening, right? And have it represent all your major and minor chakras, and just use gold light and repair it. And just wash away. So you kind of repair and unblock at the same time. Just because if you don't unblock, that gets in the way of the repair, because then it's all gucked up with mud and gold light doesn't permeate properly. So just melt away the blocks inside, outside, around the round openings, Just lots and lots of gold light. Keep breathing and relax just because it's a big deal. Your intention is you want to clear just what's healthy and gentle to clear today, to clear right now, so that you accelerate your growth, but you kind of, you know, you don't accelerate to the point where you're like running into walls, you know, spiritually speaking. You just accelerate to a point where life is fun and validating and productive. It's fulfilling. So lots of gold light. Imagine those energy blocks. You know, they kind of glom up, like say the energy's trying to flow through and then there's some energy blocks, you know, they just kind of build up right here. So you just keep melting away the energy blocks on either side of the round openings with gold light from your hands. And you can have energy blocks wrapped around the outer surface, the cylinder part of the chakra. So you can just imagine those and kind of lift those out. If you're healing yourself, you can just blow them up, which is kind of fun. Or you can lift out those energy blocks that are wrapped around and give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. Lift out some more energy blocks. Angels, here you go. Lift out some more. Angels, here you go. Lift out some more. Angels, here you go. And of course, melt cords going into the chakras. They would typically be attached at the round openings. They could be like if you have a gash somewhere, they could cord into that. But go ahead and melt the cords from other people. Unless you have like a little kid, 13 years or younger, keep the cord to your first chakra from your young kid. But that's it. Don't let them cord a bunch of other chakras, otherwise you'll raise a monster. So, all right, and then let's do, so that was chakra repair and unblocking. Let's just do a little bit extra unblocking based on the theme. While we have this, you know, chakra composite copy here. So our theme is dream big, imagine, wonder, have positive dreams, you know, which are goals and plans that you make with your angels. Innocence, have your innocence, get that back. Your positivity, sort of informed optimism. So just anything that's in the way of that, just lift that out of your chakras and you can blow it up or give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. So lift out anything in the way, anything in your chakras in the way of you dreaming big, and just lift that out, give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Lift it out, give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Lift out anything in the way of you dreaming big. Angels, here you go. And again, just melt away some energy blocks around the round openings. Generally, you melt away some and then there's more, you melt away more, there's more, you melt away more. All right, so good. So that was chakra repair and unblocking in general and for the theme of dreaming big. So we did our 4 essentials. Yay! So that's something that these days we do every single healing, just because it tends to be if you skip something then that you really needed it and you still don't feel good even though you did all these amazing things. So those are things that are good not to skip. Those 4 things. All right. Let's do sinuses. Why not? Sinuses. So your sinuses, I don't know how many sinus channels you have. I should probably count that and remember it, like Google it. But you know, if you want to know, you can Google, you know, your sinuses, diagram of your sinuses. But you can just imagine them. They're back here. You know, they're back here, in here, behind your, you know, follow your nostrils back. those are your sinuses. So just imagine, you know, here's your nose, or however, you know, way you want to face, you know, to clean them out. But just imagine a copy of your head and your schnoz, and just imagine your sinuses. And you can bring up red earth energy, soak your sinuses in some nice gentle red earth energy from the center of the earth, and then gold light, and just, you can have energy blocks in your sinuses, so you just imagine them and like melt them with gold light. You can also have invasive beings sitting in your sinuses, so you could just imagine like a lineup, you know, of criminals, you know, like just imagine the invasive beings, just like blobs, you know, and these are all the invasive beings trying to mess with your sinuses. And just say, angels, can you recycle all these beings? And then just give your angels a little bit of time to work. And then do that again. So imagine your sinuses, imagine any invasive beings that are trying to mess with your sinuses, either by sitting right in there or from afar, cording into them, and just line up all those invasive beings. Say, angels, can you recycle all these invasive beings trying to mess with my sinuses? And give your angels a couple seconds to work. And then let's do some more of that. So imagine a copy of your nose and your sinuses, and just lots of gold light. Flow is good, stuck is bad, right? So just think of obviously, you know, you think of sinuses, you don't want your sinuses to run, but energy flow in your sinuses is good, right? So just imagine any stuck energy within your sinuses, and take your time and melt it with gold light. And I still haven't, one of these days I'm for sure going to buy a copy of the sphenoid bone, like a life-size copy of that bone, just so I can like see it and use it. And the sphenoid bone is like the coolest ever bone. It's like the ends of it are here in your temples, but it goes behind your eyeballs and in your head. It's the coolest bone. Feels good to heal it. So sphenoid bone, Sphenoid, sphenoid bone. Let's heal that too, because that's in that same general area. I'll spell it. Sometimes I forget what it's called, and then people remind me. The sphenoid bone in your head. Okay. Okay, sphenoid bone in your head behind your eyes. Okay, so just imagine that bone, which stretches all the way from behind your eyes to your temples. And just bring up red earth energy, just like you did with the sinuses. Just bring up red earth energy, soak it in red earth energy and gold light. And you could have invasive beings like in the bone or hanging out around the bone, trying to mess with it. So you can, same thing, just imagine any beings trying to mess with your sphenoid bone or that general area, and say, angels, can you recycle all these beings? So So again, imagine your sphenoid bone, any beings trying to mess with this general area or the bone itself. Just imagine all those. Angels, can you recycle any beings messing with my sphenoid bone or that whole area? And then more gold light. Okay, so that was fun for me. I hope it was fun for you. That's when you know you're an energy geek, if you think that healing a sphenoid bone is fun. I mean, you could be an energy geek even if you don't think that's fun too, but. Okay, so I'm kind of in the mood to do the CV, GV, and UB stuff now. So CV, GV, UB, those are meridians, energy meridians. So CV, GV, and UB meridians. So let's do CV and GV first. I have videos on them, plus the internet has really good videos that I'll link to underneath the healing summary in the comment section. But CV goes up the midline of the front, stands for conception vessel. So think like womb, you know, but men have it too, CV meridian. It manages all your yin meridians. So like vulnerability, sensitivity, subtlety, cool stuff. So anyway, it starts in the crotch, goes up the midline, and ends in the tip of the tongue. That's the CV meridian. And if it's healed and strong and flowing, then that helps keep all your yin meridians happy, which is good. And then the GV meridian starts up there, and like I guess between your crotch and your butt there. And your GV meridian goes up the midline of the back and hooks around the head, therefore helps with headache clearing if you have your GV meridian in good shape. So it goes up the back, hooks around the head, and ends in the roof of the mouth. That's GV, stands for governing vessel, and it helps to keep all your yang meridians in good shape. Helps to regulate them. So GV, so yang energy, your self-assertiveness, your ability to take care of yourself and just kind of get your shit together. So we all need that, don't we? So, and then UB meridian, we're just going to do the part in the head. It starts in the corners of the eye, and then it goes into the corners of the eyebrow, the corners, and then straight up to the scalp, and then a little over, and then it goes front to back, the opposite of the GV, and it's parallel, the GV, when it's in your head, and then it gets a little more sophisticated down here, but we're not going to do that part. We'll just do the UB part when it's going like that. It goes up and over slightly and then down. But anyway, so first I'll do GV, CV. So like I said, GV goes up the back. And GV1 and CV1, those are the points, you know, where they start, the first little chakras in both those meridians. So we could do a little extra on those. They can get really gummed up. They can get even damaged. Any of these points, any of these little chakras in the meridians can get damaged, and then they really don't work so well. So I'm just doing extra repair work on the GV1 and CV1 point and little chakras at the base of these two meridians. So I feel like these points, since they're the first point of each meridian, it helps set the tone and helps, you know, the functionality a lot of that whole meridian. And we did already chakra repair on all major and minor chakras, but for some reason, so, you know, that probably heals maybe, like, depending on the person, like a third to like 80% of the damage of these little chakras, but not 100% of it. I mean, depending on the person. Some people are so non-resistant that it's so easy to heal them that like everything gets repaired, like whoop. You know? That's why veterans, the more healings people get from me, the more gets healed every single time, because you just get more flowing, more non-resistant, and you're just easier to heal. The newbies, they're the ones that are the most challenging because they're so gucked up. Which is fine. I love a good challenge. So then now you have GV and CV, GV1 and CV1 repaired, those two little chakras that start both of those meridians, located in here, in your crotch, and between your crotch and your butt. But they can have energy blocks, you know, just like any chakra, like right in front of the round openings. So if, you know, the energy is supposed to flow in the meridian this way, and there's all this gucked up, you know, blocks here, that's gonna impair the functionality. So you can imagine those blocks, especially underneath, just underneath the UB, the GV1 and CV1. And melt those blocks and just keep finding more and keep melting more. So what are we doing? We're doing, I mean, I'm working GV and CV meridian as a whole, but then I kind of just focused on GV1 and CV1, those first acupuncture points at the base of each of those meridians. Acupuncture points, which are minor chakras, so they look like they're chakras, basically. So then you can also just move out the energy blocks that are blocking up any of the chakras within GV and CV. So just move out the energy blocks that are healthy, gentle, and clear, and give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. You can blow them up if you're healing yourself. If you're healing someone else, blowing things up that were in their space is far too like bossy. Just melt them with gold light or hand them to angels. So, but if you're healing yourself, blowing up is kind of fun. So imagine GV and CV. GV is the one that hooks around your head. CV is a little shorter, just straight up. And just move out the energy blocks within those chakras and give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. You because they're all these chakras, little cylinders within the meridian. And you imagine any blocks that are healthy and gentle to get rid of, that are messing with those cylinders, move out the blocks. Give to your angels. Angels, here you go. And just breathe a little bit. Breathe into all your major joints, your ankles, your knees, your hips, your shoulders. Speaking of ankles, once I finish the meridian stuff, I think we'll do a little bit for ankles, because I did get a request from a client about ankle work. So that'll be fun. All right, so that was CV and GV. I think we did, special attention to GV1 and CV1. I think there are a couple more points that I want to especially focus on within those meridians. I'm going to do GV15 to GV20. So those are specific little chakras within the GV meridian that hooks around your head. GV15 and GV16 are like base of skull, basically. Where the meridian goes and it finally gets to your skull and then it goes around. So 15 and 16 are pretty close to each other. And then GV20 is right on the top of the head, as the GV meridian hooks around. So 15 to 20 is from the base of the skull to the top of the head, like those cylinder chakras within it. So I'm gonna work on those in particular. GV 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And I mentioned in the intro, somebody had a migraine, which, is ironic because this stuff fixes migraines. So that means that invasive beings were trying to get back in, that we had knocked them out and they were like, hey, we like it in there. So just imagine any invasive beings messing with your GV meridian, but especially GV15 to GV20. But any invasive beings messing with any meridians, let's say, and just say, angels, can you recycle all these beings? And your angels hear that, and they do it. To the extent that you're open to it, blah, blah, blah. Which is why we ask multiple times. So again, any beings that are messing with GV15 to GV20, but any meridians, just imagine those beings. Angels, can you recycle all these beings? And we definitely want to make sure that GV15 through GV20 are repaired, so they're not like smashed, broken, cracked, etc., scratched. So I'm just going one by one, like 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, just repairing each one. Again, these are little chakras within the GV meridian that hooks around your head. Helps you to be a badass. And you can just lift out the energy blocks, give to your angels, angels, here you go. Lift out the energy blocks, messing with GV 15 to 20, angels, here you go. Lift out the energy blocks, angels, here you go. You can definitely have people courting even these little chakras, so you could melt the cords. Maybe that'll make it easier to unblock things. So melt the cords going into GV 15, GV 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There's no good reason for anybody to cord these chakras. And then now unblock a little more. Angels, here you go. Angels, here you go. Angels, here you go. Yeah, I think that helped just to get the cords out of the way. All right, cool. So that was just a little bit extra doing GV 15 to 20, those little chakras within that meridian in your physical body. So then now we will do the UB meridian, just the part at the beginning where it starts in the corner of the eye. There are two branches. It starts in the corner of each eye, inner corner of each eye, and then the inner corner of each eyebrow, and then your scalp. So it's like 3 points that go straight up. 1, 2, 3, and then it goes over a little bit and then straight back. So UB1, I don't see people with a lot of damage to it, maybe because we repaired it 2 days ago. That first point right in the corner there, but I do see a lot of, just blockages. Looks like mud. And then UB2, in the inner part of the eyebrow. And then UB3, going straight up to the scalp right there. And then it goes over a little. And then it goes back parallel to the GV meridian. So there are all sorts of good points there. I'm just gonna do kind of a quick version of repair and unblocking. All right, cool. So that was GV, CV, and UB work, those meridians. And again, those meridians are just straight traditional Chinese medicine stuff. You can get an acupuncturist to, needle you on those points and help you that way. I don't know that every time you get acupuncture, it repairs the chakra. I know it unblocks the chakra. I think you may sort of automatically repair as the needles unblock it. So, but anyway, you can do it yourself with energy healing. But you want to have that intention to do what's healthy and gentle, because your body, your physical body, has it's a little more sensitive to how much energy you clear at once than your spirit might be. Okay, good job, good job, good job. Oh yes, ankles. Let's do ankles. So your ankles are really important. If they get banged up and don't feel good, then it's hard to walk, right? So let's work on your ankles a little bit. Okay. So sometimes if your ankles are messed up, you have energy damage to your astral body in that place. Like you can get your astral body damaged to the point where like you're missing one of your legs even, or it's all like blown up, like your astral body. And so then you get a new one in your sleep with your angels. But sometimes if the damage is sort of smaller, you might not realize, you might not be open to letting your angels give you a new astral body. So you're walking around with like, no lower leg on your astral body, which means you're not really present in that part of your body, and so you're much more likely to like turn it funny or something because you're not really there, so you're not as mindful of like how you're stepping on that particular foot because you're not there because there's no astral body lower leg on that side. So let's just make sure first that your astral body legs are nice and complete and you have astral body feet. Technically, your angels make new astral bodies for you, but I'm going to just, help run gold light through where your astral body legs and feet would be so that, you're sort of more open to letting your angels rebuild it for you if needed. All right, and then any part of your body can store junk from past lives or from earlier in this life. The bones can store that stuff, the muscles, the tendons, whatever. So let's just, if there's any spiritual junk that needs to be removed from your ankles or your feet, your lower legs, and your knees while we're at it, just imagine that junk. And then just wrap it in gold light and lift out the junk and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. And gold light through that area. And you want to heal not only the bones and the joints and tendons and the energy of all that, but also your auras around that physical area. So really all 17 of your auras around that area as well. Just lots of gold light because you don't want stuck energy. You want it to flow. Flow is good. If it's stuck, then it's more likely to create pain. You're less likely to be present. So use gold light to melt away any hard energy that you notice around your knees and ankles and lower legs and feet. And again, any spiritual junk that you need to get rid of, energy junk around your knees on down, just lift that out. Angels, here you go. Anything that's healthy and gentle to get rid of, lift it out. Angels, here you go. And just go ahead and fit into each of your toes on both feet. And fit into both of your ankles. All right, good job. Woohoo! So we did ankles, etc. Just repair and unblocking of the physical, but also the energy around that area. Okay. Ankle rotations are nice. Doing those regularly. I mean, just for a physical, I'm not a, physical therapist, so, don't just get your body advice from me. But as far as I know, ankle rotations are nice to do on a regular basis, and you can use that as an opportunity for like a mindfulness exercise for your, toes and your feet, and just to be there as you do ankle rotations. So you can, if you don't know just ankle rotations, you can look on some YouTube video or something. It's easy, you just rotate them, and then you rotate them the other way. But again, I'm not a physical expert. Disclaimer. Inner child. Let's do that. So inner child healing is easy, and it's good to do whenever, because you never know when a wounded younger part of you is sort of holding things up, bumming you out, stressing you out, making you completely unproductive. All sorts of effects that a wounded inner child can have on your adult functioning. I don't want to go to bed. I don't want to do work. I don't want to be nice to that person. I don't want to clean up. I don't want to dream. It's not worth it. Nothing's gonna come true. It's terrible. Life is terrible. You never know what kind of moods your stuck inner child is in. So it's always good to heal, right? So let's redo grounding real quick. Just redo your grounding. Red or orange or yellow. Big, wide grounding all the way down to the core of the earth. All right, so then to do inner child healing, it's super easy. Just imagine, like, make a blanket, a gold blanket, or a nice little gold chair out in front of you. It can be far away from you if you're concerned about feeling how this inner child of yours feels, this wounded inner child feels. But I don't really need to make them far away myself. But it depends. If you don't like dealing with stuff, make it far away. But so anyway, you have like your little blanket, or you can make a blanket and a chair. Give your wounded inner child some options. And then just imagine a part of your wounded inner child that needs healing. A part of your inner child that is wounded, that needs healing. And imagine her or him on the blanket or in the chair. And you can just say, hi, hey, would you like a healing? How old are you? And if that part of you isn't very chatty, don't be surprised, it's wounded, right? But go ahead and give that part of you a healing with gold light. And as you heal this part of you basically dissolves and comes back to you. So it's no longer separate and stuck in the past and wounded. And if you don't see that happen, if it's still this wounded part, just say, angels, can you finish up healing this part of me? So that was one little, general wounded inner child healing. So, Izzy, what are you doing? Izzy's rolling around in his little carrier right there, right over there. Little nut job. Okay, so go ahead and imagine a part of your inner child that is maybe getting in the way of you dreaming big and positive and having an informed optimism, having creating positive plans with your angels. Just imagine this wounded inner child part of you that's in the way of all that. And give her a chair or a blanket, him or her, and just say, hey, You know, I'm sorry you don't feel good. How old are you? And you can go ahead and give this part of you a present. So go ahead and make energy healing flowers that that part of you needs, just whatever, out of universal healing energy. And just make a whole bunch of energy flowers. Just say, angels, can you check my flowers? And then present them to this part of you. Just put them at a respectful distance in front of this wounded inner child part of you. Say, here you go. These are for you. And that part of you may not readily, quickly accept the flowers, which is okay. That part of you is wounded. But then now you can go ahead and give that part of you a healing with gold light. So again, you're healing an inner child part of you that is wounded in a way that makes it hard for you to dream big and make positive plans with your angels. So just heal this part of you with gold light. It's like a, just wash out this part of you with lots and lots and lots of gold light. And you can say, you know, I'm sorry this happened to you. It's okay now. You're safe now. I'll take care of you. So that part of you, when it fully heals, then it's not wounded anymore and it's not stuck in the past anymore. So it just sort of pixelates and comes back to you as present time energy that's okay. If that didn't happen, if you still see that little wounded part of you, just say, angels, can you help me finish the healing? And then let's do another one. Same way. Just imagine another wounded inner child part of you. It could be from a past life even. You don't have to know how old that part of you is or anything. I just say ask that part of you these questions in case you're curious and you are able to perceive the answer, but it's okay if you don't. So just imagine this wounded inner child part of you that's in the way of you dreaming big with your angels, and just give that part of you a nice healing. Lots of gold light. Izzy, shush. He's so spoiled. He just went out before the live stream started, so there's no way he actually needs to go out. He just wants attention. So we're healing an inner child part of you that is wounded in a way that gets in the way of you dreaming big positive, making big positive plans with your angels. All right, so that part of you dissolves, comes back to you. It's not wounded anymore. If some of it's left over, just say, angels, can you finish this healing for me? Okay. Let's do a specific inner child healing. Let's do an inner child part of you that is stuck in fear, because fear is sort of close to the opposite of what we're aiming for. You know, fear just sort of smushes everything and upstages everything, right? So let's look at an inner child part of you that is stuck in anxiety or fear. And maybe use red earth energy and just soak this part of you in red earth energy. And then lots of gold light. Izzy, stop. Be quiet. Lots of gold light for this stuck in fear, wounded inner child part of you. And so chances are that part of you just melted and, you know, you got the energy back now. But if that part of you is still there and still wounded and stuck in fear, just say, angels, can you help this part of me? So that was, we did 3 times. We did 2 just general inner child. And then we did once inner child stuck in fear. Okay. And of course you can do more inner child healing later. We may do more on Tuesday, but you can do that at any time. You can say, hey, I would like to work more on healing my inner child with my angels. But you could also use the video. Use this video. All right, so what was I gonna do? Oh yeah, agreements. So we can look at, we can clear any agreements that you have. They're probably mostly going to be subconscious, but any agreements that you have with anybody that are in the way of you, like we could say any unhealthy agreements, you know, so that, you know, in case you, just to be safe, I guess. So we can clear any unhealthy agreements that are limiting your ability to dream big. You know, in other words, create positive goals and plans with your angels that are big. So you can imagine these agreements, and again, they're subconscious, so, you know, it's okay if you didn't realize they were there. Right? I just imagine them like papers or sticks or rocks, however you want to imagine your agreements. But any agreements that you have that are unhealthy, that are in the way of you dreaming big and positive with your angels. And just notice how many, if you want, like intuitively, and are they all from past lives or any from present time, this life? And either way you can clear them. It doesn't matter. It's just sort of fun to notice sometimes. So you're imagining all the agreements that you have, any unhealthy agreements that you still have that are limiting your ability to dream big and positive with your angels. And then just use gold light and melt the agreements. And you can say, angels, help me do this. And just use gold light and melt away the agreements. And sometimes once you do one batch, then it sort of emboldens you to do another batch. So you can imagine any more agreements that you have that are unhealthy, that are in the way of you dreaming big and positive. So line up any other unhealthy agreements that you have that are in the way of you dreaming big and positive with your angels. And just imagine those and go ahead and melt those with gold light. And you could have some invasive beings that maybe you had agreements with, or, you know, because those agreements could be with people from past lives or this life, or they could be with invasive beings. And people, generally, when there's no more agreement, it's just done. But invasive beings, sometimes because they're invasive, they don't really want to go away, you know, even if the agreement's done. So you could just line up any invasive beings that are in the way of you dreaming big. And you're not, technically you wouldn't have any more agreements with them because we just melted those away. But you can make sure, like any invasive beings in the way of you dreaming big, and just see if there's an agreement and just go ahead and melt that. And then say, angels, can you recycle all these invasive beings in the way of me dreaming big? And just relax and breathe while your angels do the work for you. Okay. I guess one more time just to double check. Just imagine if there are any invasive beings in the way of you dreaming big. And then, do you have any agreements with these beings? If so, just see it as like paper or sticks or rocks. Melt away the agreements with gold light. And then just say, angels, can you please recycle all these invasive beings in the way of me dreaming big and positive with my angels? Okay, so that was, we melted agreements, we cleared agreements, same thing. That was just in general, so that could have been with people or beings. And then we cleared beings that were in the way, invasive beings in the way of you dreaming big. Izzy, shush. Clearing away invasive beings in the way of dreaming big. And we made sure to clear the agreements if there were any, so that your angels could really recycle the beings. So we're going to do a sped up version of what we did on Friday, the 7th and 4th astral body chakra clearing. Just because people got that process on Friday, so they're more open to it, so we can do it fast. We can do it quickly. So 7th and 4th astral body chakras, clear those out to help you dream big, make you more open to working with your angels in your sleep about dreaming big. So let's do that now. So you just imagine, you know, you as a spirit, you have 7 major chakras along your astral body spine. Your physical body has 7 major chakras. They are match set. So, but anyway, so imagine the 7th for your spirit body and the 4th for your spirit body. So 7th is oriented this way, like a cup that's up, and 4th it would be oriented this way, round opening in the front, round opening in the back. So just imagine astral 7th, astral 4th, and just go ahead and, of course, make sure they're repaired, but they should be. But you can kind of just check out those round openings, make sure there's no cracks. Just do a little unblocking with gold light. And then just imagine any blocks in the way of you dreaming big and work with your angels. And move the blocks out, give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. Imagine the blocks in the way of you dreaming big. Move them out, give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. Imagine the blocks in the way of you dreaming big. Move them out. Give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. All right. So that's that. The 7th and 4th astral unblocking to help the theme. On Friday we did chakra filament work and chakra fit work. I don't think we need to do that again. Just because in the interest of time, I think it's good enough. So then we'll heal some inner wounds to help your body be at a more lighter vibration, more positive vibration, so that you can bring in more and more of this big dream energy that you made in your sleep with your angels. So we will do that now. Heal your inner wounds. And we'll do that quickly because it's easy. And we did it on Friday too. So you just imagine your inner wounds like slashes out in front of you. They can be way out in front of you if you're freaked out about feeling it. But you imagine any inner wounds that are in the way of you, manifesting, being aware of, consciously bringing in these positive plans, positive ideas that you made with your angels. So imagine any wounds in the way of that and just melt them with gold light. So you imagine them like slashes, and then you paint them with gold light and let them heal. All right, breathe into all your major joints. We can do another batch of that. Just imagine any inner wounds in the way of you having big positive dreams with your angels and bringing that energy into the physical level. So imagine the inner wounds like slashes out in front of you and just paint them with your gold light so that they melt away and they're healed. All right, and if any of those slashes are still there, just say, angels, help me heal those. All right, good job. I think we're close to done. On Friday, we called back innocence and called back optimism and all sorts of good stuff, but I don't think we need to do that again today. So let's just do healing flowers and then we'll be done. So just create energy healing flowers, as many as you need, out of universal healing energy. So they'll be gold light or rainbow colored, and have them be the vibration that you need so that you're encouraged and ready to make big dreams with your angels in your sleep, big positive plans with your angels, and then you're able to bring them in to your conscious level and start to manifest them, start to realize what they are. So just make a whole bunch of energy healing flowers to help support you with that. And then just say, angels, can you check my flowers? And then go ahead and give them to yourself. So they're your big dream flowers. Big dream medicine, right? So go ahead, make more energy healing flowers to help support you as you work on your big dreams and bring them in. So a whole bunch of big dream flowers. And say, angels, can you double check my flowers? And then give them to yourself. Just let them go wherever they need to go. All right. You just double check, like unblock the major chakras, unblock the creative rings, unblock the top of all the aura layers, unblock the bottom of the aura layers. Unblock the groundings. Redo your gold buffers. All right, and as you finish, just say, angels, can you please give me healing and please help me as much as possible with my big positive dreams. All right, we did it. Good job. Woo woo. That was a healing. Great job. Great job. Great job. So I can do a chit chat part of the healing live stream, and where I just read live viewer comments. And so if you want to mention what the healing was like for you, or if you have a follow-up question about this topic or about something I said in the live stream, I may have time for it. If I don't have time for your question, I don't get to it, you can post it under any video at any time, and I'll get to it when I can. But that's my preferred way for people to ask me a question, is posting under a video. And if that feels too public for you, I mean, there's some situations where it's an extremely private question, and you could email me, and I'll answer it whenever I can. But you could also get a private YouTube ID also, that's like surfer dude, and then you just let me know that's your surfer dude, and maybe put your initials with the question as you post it. And that way you won't have to worry about privacy. I mean, when you think about it, I have clients all over the world. So even if you did put your first and last name, it's, unless you have a really unique first and last name, you might not have to worry about privacy. But anyway, the next group healing is in 2 days. That'll be the third healing, the final healing of this triplet set with the same theme. And then I do a twin set on the 28th and 23rd, 21st and 23rd of this month. That is Create Big. So it's sort of the complement to this one, helping you to manifest bigger things. Someone says, good morning from Arizona. Well, good morning to you. Someone says, hello, Janet. Thank you for healing us today and for the extra email, though it didn't seem extra because it was important. Okay. Oh, you mean the one where, yeah, I finished the healing summary with the timestamp links later than I would usually do. Like, even sometimes I do it the next day, but it's done like earlier than it was yesterday. It was done pretty late yesterday, so that's why I emailed extra. So I'm glad you didn't mind the email. Someone says, I mean, I didn't email everyone in the world. I just emailed my people I'm healing, that the healing summary was done. But anyone could just check under the video in the comment section to see if it's done or not. So it says, I was so energized and inspired on Friday. Oh, good, after the healing. And lots of creating and painting yesterday. Not sure why this one is special for me, but it's one of my top favorite healings yet. Oh, nice. Inspired on Friday. That could be before the healing, because you get the healing Friday evening. So that's interesting. But then you did a lot of creating and painting yesterday. Special. Yeah, that is a good question. Why is it so much better for you? Yeah, I don't have an easy answer on that, but I'm glad. You can keep working it. Someone gives me a little waving emoji, waving back to you. So it says, hi Jenna, good to see you and looking good. Well, thank you. So it says, I noticed my past dreams from past lives, and others' dreams for me in the energy. Should I use gold blanket for those? Yeah, I mean, certainly other people's hopes and dreams for you, you can hand those to your angels for sure. Sometimes, parents, grandparents can kind of be invasive with what they hope for you, what they want you to be. Like, my birth mother, bless her heart, was extremely invasive with her and even on a conscious level, with her dreams for me, she wanted me to marry somebody tall, white, rich, and Catholic. So no racism there. No racism, no classism, no nothing. And she would say that again and again and again and again. You must marry someone who is tall, rich, white, and Catholic. So of course I did none of that. Well, my husband's tall. But yeah, she was very invasive about what she felt I should do. In other ways too, like I was supposed to be some big corporate ladder climber. I was supposed to, you know, anyway, so people can be very invasive, but it doesn't have to control who you become if you clear it out. If you keep it in your space and then you're just aware of it, you're kind of annoyed by it, you may do the opposite, just sort of out of resistance. And maybe what you're truly meant to do is not like the polar opposite of what these people stuck in your space. So it's better to like remove their junk. So then you realize like really what you want to become. So you don't just like become the polar opposite. Like some angels are reminding me of people who ride motorcycles. And, you know, some people ride motorcycles just because, you know, that's part of what they're meant to do, right? But if you look at all the people that ride motorcycles, a lot of people that ride motorcycles, they have other people's goals and dreams in their space, and then they're doing the polar opposite of that. So it's kind of this resistance thing of like, yeah, well, screw you. I'm going to just ride a bike and I'm going to be tough and ride a motorcycle. Yeah. And so if they removed all the, you know, junk from other people, all the hopes and dreams from other people in their space, then they may, you know, instead ride a, you know, an athletic bike, or maybe they'll be swimmers or whatever, you know. So that there tends to be that like resistance, rah, you know, like the heavy metal stuff, and rah, you know, anything that's like rah, really sort of ragey and intense. People have other people's controlling junk in them, you know, hopes and dreams or whatever, and then they're fighting against it. So it's like they're battling within themselves, you know, and it's much better just to remove all that junk, so then you don't have to like rage within yourself at stuff that's in yourself. Anyway, that was a fun digression. Fun for me. But anyway, yeah, so your question, yeah, so you could use Gold Blanket for other people's dreams. Dreams that are yours from past lives, you can just run Gold Light through them. You know, that'll maybe update them. Some maybe get totally dissolved, and some just become, they convert into something else. Sometimes dreams from other past lives are still relevant, you know, so that way you just run Gold Light through them in case parts of them are still relevant, and then they can just, you know, get filed away. Because maybe in this life it's not appropriate, but maybe in a future life it's a really good dream for you. So just run Gold Light through your old ones, or hand them to your angels. They'll sort it out with you. But yeah, if it's someone else's dream, you could blow it up if you want. So it says, joining midway, greetings from rainy Chicago. Yeah, second person mentioning rainy Chicago. Interesting. Always interesting to hear the weather reports. I used to live in Chicago, so we moved here 6 years ago. Almost to the day. We got here like July 2nd or July 3rd, something like that, in 2016. Someone says, hi, hello to you. Thanks for the emojis. Someone says, thank you for healing me today. You're welcome. I couldn't focus on the full healing. Will rewatch. But I came back when the ankle healing came up. Last week, I fell down my stairs, sprained my ankle, and have a week left to start putting pressure to it. Am I still walking, proceeding on my journey? I have felt I was at a stop sign. You know, there are no stop signs like from angels. Typically on your path, if you're stopped and there's a stop sign, it's probably not from your angels. It's probably just a bunch of junk from other people on your path making you stop. So you can just melt that stuff away. So you just imagine where you are on your path, all the junk that's impeding your forward movement, and just melt it with gold light. Yeah. And fun fact, I have found the hard way years ago, back when we were in Chicago. When we were in Chicago, the last apartment building that we lived in had, we were on this, we were on like the ground floor, like a little bit, but it was like a half story up. It was like this weird building built in 1908. So it was very old. And so anyway, we had to go down a flight of stairs that were outdoors and like open air to get into the backyard. And because of the dogs we had at the time, I was always like going down those stairs pretty fast to try to get one of our dogs in particular outside as soon as possible. And those stairs got very slippery because it rains in Chicago. And then the stairs, they were wood stairs. There was no traction on them. So anyway, it was dangerous. They were dangerous stairs that I was going down a lot. And turns out, if you're not present in your third chakra, you are way less coordinated. So I had some somewhat dangerous stair experiences. But it was always if I was not present in my third chakra. So then that means I was popped out of 3, 2, and 1 at the time. Probably terrified because I had so much baggage about my dog peeing everywhere in the house. So I was a little stuck. But yeah, so if you're in your third chakra when you're going downstairs, things end up better. You tend to have a lot better coordination with all your moving parts and the stairway and the slipperiness and everything. So just a little tip there for you. If you have to go down stairs of any sort, but especially dangerous stairs that are often slippery, just double check at least that you're in your third. I mean, ideally in all chakras, but definitely the third. Third has a lot to do with coordination, like physical coordination. As I said, I learned the hard way. So there's that. Someone says this is Izzy's inner child. Yes, Izzy has a really significant inner child part of him. I mean, they were all in laboratories. They were, they did laboratory. These guys are rescues, so they were experimented on in cages for their whole childhood. So they have wounded inner childs, basically. But, we work on healing them. But yeah, so now Izzy's just all inner child, even though he's like 7 years old or something. All right, love to Izzy. Yes, he is a sweetie. So it says, I listened while you healed. I have a sinus ear infection that hasn't responded to antibiotics. I felt a release in pressure in my head and ears. Did I have blocks or invasive beings? Thank you. Yes and yes. Yeah. Yeah, I would keep clearing just that sphenoid bone. I have a Pinterest page. If you look on my website on the left-hand side, janetwrightreadings.com. I'm sorry, the right-hand side, there are these little icons for different social media things. And I think if you click on the Pinterest icon, you should go to my Pinterest page that has like a sphenoid bone little diagram. And plus there's even a video of the sphenoid bone, so you can see it as it rotates. Or you can just Google sphenoid bone. But I think if you keep healing that, just to like release more and more pressure from that area. And then your sinuses, you could do more of it. I don't think you have any beings in the way anymore, but there are energy blocks that are kind of popping you out of that area. So I would say you're halfway in there now, but yeah, keep clearing. You can even just line up the energy blocks out in front of you. You don't have to worry about what the sphenoid bone looks like or what the sinuses look like. Just line up any energy blocks that are blocking you from being anywhere in your head, your physical head, and then just keep melting those or blowing them up. Blow up head energy blocks. And just keep doing that. All right. Someone says, that was awesome. My ears popped during that segment of healing. You didn't even have to go in an elevator. Someone says, thanks for the healing. I love the CBGB work. I really needed that for my headache. Oh, nice. How am I doing with clearing out my OCD? I've been working DEBS a lot and I've felt a difference, but wondering what else I could work for that. So DEBS, for those that don't know, we did that in like, I don't know, probably the last set. Be a Badass. That was probably in there. It's recent. DEBS. DEBS stands for Deep Energy Blocks. Ones that are not only in the back of your aura versus the front, but they're like, you just really repressed them back there. You're like, I'm really not working those. And so they affect you, of course, nonetheless, maybe just subconsciously, but they can be pretty pervasive, the effect. So if like, say you feel like you have, gloomy storm clouds above you at all times, those are probably DEBs. I mean, it could be damage too, or damage and all that, but DEBs can create that sort of pervasive feeling of like something's wrong, or something like a little bit of a minor key to the song of your life. That could be DEBs. So anyway, your OCD. Your angels show me this staircase, and the staircase represents your anxiety and how it just like the more you go up the staircase, the less you feel like you have control over your anxiety and the harder it is to clear. And they say just give them the staircase, but they say that just the staircase represents all sorts of energy blocks that get triggered. Multiple ones get triggered and corded and whatever, and so you kind of get, as you react to all that, you go higher up the staircase. So they're like, just imagine your anxiety staircase, and you could blow it up, or you could give it to your angels and just keep like proactively doing that. Just imagine your anxiety staircase. So hope that helps. So this is, hi Janet, I healed myself. Yes, that's nice. I felt less neck tension. Thank you. Oh good, that's nice. Yesterday, yeah, you had some blocks in like, especially like GV 15 and 16, those points back there at the base of the skull, and so that causes the energy to divert a lot. You had damage and blocks, and so you repair them and unblock them enough so that maybe 70% of the energy of your GV meridian goes through GV 15 and 16 now, versus diverting and like spraying out everywhere and being lost. So, but I would still, you could still work more on unblocking. That is my timer. It just went off. I'm aware of this. So you could just keep working on unblocking GV15 and GV16. There are just little chakras in there in your GV meridian, and just unblock them more and more and more, so there's no energy diversion. So all of the energy coming up your GV meridian can continue through GV15 and GV16. And that way it'll just lessen the pressure even more, make you feel even more centered. Anyway, you continue and say, yesterday I kept thinking about a person, you mentioned his name all day, but I haven't spoken to that person in years. How can I stop when that happens? They weren't courting you or anything on a spirit level. It looks like there were just some beings trying to distract you. Yeah, it just looks like it was an invasive being issue. Like, people get that sometimes with like comfort eating. Like, there'll be invasive beings that are like, you really want potato chips right now, don't you? How about the whole bag? So, or invasive beings can like like fuel sort of like negative self-talk about body image and stuff, or whatever. So I think it looks just like that. Like, you had some invasive beings that were you know, latched onto a certain part of your past and just, you know, ran it over and over through your mind. Your telepathic mesh is pretty beat up from arguing with your spouse. And so that makes it easier for invasive beings to like pipe into your mind and your thoughts. So there is a video if you want a video rather than just freestyling it, which you could do too. But if you want a video, search Janet Wright, 5th chakra, 5th layer healing, 5th, number 5. And that repairs the telepathic mesh and does clearing for the 5th layer and the 5th chakra. So 5th chakra, 5th layer is mind, thoughts, communication with self and others. So yeah, so when that happens, you didn't have 5th chakra damage, but you had a lot of telepathic mesh damage, and pretty much the back of your 5th layer, like I want to say 60% of it was super blocked. So that just makes it easier for beings just to hang out and distract you all day. So yeah, just 5th layer unblocking and telepathic mesh repair. And, you know, have your angels recycle beings that are messing with that area. So it says healing myself. Okay, so I do have to speed up. Wow, so there are a lot of questions, so some of them I won't get to. So you can repost under the video, and I will get to them when I can. If you don't repost them, I will not get to them ever. So feel free to repost under a video. Healing myself. Yes, because I healed your family member this time. Suppressed blocks releasing around work and personal relationships. The loppy energy out the back yesterday. Also headache stopped. Oh, very nice. Good job. Awesome healing today. Sinus, sphenoid, inner child. Yeah. Well, that's nice. I'm glad you like those parts. Someone says, and good job for healing yourself. Someone says the inner child healing was comforting. Oh, nice. I'm glad. Thank you for the healing. You're welcome. Someone says, my headache is gone. Thank you for this healing. I cried a lot during the inner child healing, but feel lighter now. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, maybe make like a flower garden in between you and your wounded inner child, you know, and give you a separate flower garden and make a flower garden for your inner child so you're in separate flower gardens. I mean, if the cry was just like nice and poignant and meaningful, then and you liked it, then that's fine. But if it's gonna make you do inner child healing less often, then that's not cool. So then maybe make separate flower gardens so that you feel more separate from this wounded part of you. You feel like she's being cherished and you're being cherished, you know, with the flower gardens around you of like gold flowers and rainbow colored flowers. And then like kind of push her garden a little further out if you know, if it's too much. So I hope that makes sense. But I'm glad you feel better now. That's great. So it says, hi, you healed me, and I followed too. Feeling much better today. How am I looking? Any advice for professional or personal dreaming? Well, the first step of creating the dreams in your sleep with your angels, you're pretty good at that, as both professionally and personally. So prior to the set, you were pretty unrestricted. I mean, there's more that, you know, the 7th and 4th unblocking helped with, but pretty much, you know, like your angels showed me a check mark. Like you were okay with dreaming big in your sleep with your angels before this set. So it's more about bringing it in to your physical level, like into your physical aura and chakras and stuff. Izzy, shut up. It's like just being nice with them. They just want to, it's really unfortunate. They're like little anarchists. I would like to just be peaceful and gentle with them all the time, but it doesn't work out well. I don't know if that's just dogs, and I don't think all dogs are like that. I think it's just the past that these guys have had. But anyway, I digress. But anyway, it's about bringing it in. I think do more of that healing inner wounds. Specific inner wounds that are slowing the dreams from coming in. And more inner child healing, like we did today, so that the dreams can come in more. So yeah, heal inner wounds and inner child healing. Yeah, okay. Someone says they got the healing, healed myself while watching two. When we released contracts, yeah, agreements, and healed inner child, my ears popped and I had a big yawn. LOL, thank you for the healing. You're welcome. That's cute. So it says, thank you so much, Janet. I started feeling elated at GV work and calm throughout the rest. You healed me. Loved the healing on my sinuses. Yeah, you had your GV1 was like needing repair. So, and then the CV one was quite blocked. And so now your CV1 is less blocked. It went from like 80% blocked to now it's like 45% blocked. So you could definitely work more on GV1, CV1 unblocking. And then GV1 was like damaged and crushed. And now it's still slightly damaged. So you could work more on GV1, just a little more repair, and certainly much more unblocking. But anyway, that's why you felt so good, because it got a lot more repaired than it was. You healed me. Love the healing on my sinuses, sphenoid, and knees, ankles, and feet. So happy now. That's cute. Good, good, good. I'm glad. Yeah, inner child healing probably helped too, to give you that giggliness, the joy. Hi, Janet. You healed me and my son. Yes. Thanks for this month's theme. I'm noticing that some of my dreams feel almost too big, and I feel like I'm living in a fantasy and escaping reality. Any ideas? Well, yeah, sometimes people make dreams that are for their next life or their next life, two lives ahead. So that's not uncommon, that some dreams you'll do in your next life. Like you make them now, but you actually achieve them one life or two lives from now. And that's a natural thing. So it's not really bad to be making dreams that don't fit into this life. You could just make sure that you're making enough that do fit into this life. But I think that's maybe what you're sensing, that there are some dreams that don't fit into this life, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's good. It helps you with, life planning then for the next life, or then the next life when that comes. But yeah, I think just keep unblocking seventh and fourth, astral seventh and fourth, so that you can make enough big dreams that fit into this life. Because I think there's kind of like this sort of, the way you show it to me, or your angel show it to me, it's like there's an empty box where the dreams for this life are supposed to go. Like you're really good at making dreams for your next life and your next life. But there's like this weird empty box thing, and it looks like it's like from your dad. It's like some kind of an unfulfilled dream energy of his. So you could just keep removing like energy from your parents and your relatives, all relatives, like, the whole family tree in this life. Just keep, imagine, okay, this is where my dreams for this life would be, and just keep scooping out everybody else's stuff from this life. Like all their dreams for you, all their sadness about their own unfulfilled dreams, because I think then you can make another set of dreams that will fit into this life. And I think that's what's going on. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, just remove that empty box thing from your dad, give it to your angels, and just more stuff. There's more stuff from like uncles and grandparents and, mom and whatever, just remove all their energy. Somehow you became kind of a repository for everybody's baggage about dreams. And then sometimes people were very invasive about their dreams for you for this life. So just scoop that out for a while, and then you'll be able to, I don't think it'll be a problem after that for you to make a set that works well for this life with your angels. So I hope that makes sense. Someone says, have you tried cacao yet? Did it drain your energy? I did not. I have tried, I mentioned in a comment under a video that chocolate makes the roof of my mouth swell up, so that then when I brush my teeth, my gums bleed, so it's not fun. But I was thinking for some reason of trying cacao as a supplement, thinking, well, maybe pure cacao won't give me that reaction. But I have been experimenting lately with tomatoes because I grow tomatoes. I grew tomatoes for my husband, knowing that I can't have nightshades, I thought. But I decided to try since they're such good tomatoes, and they're really delicious, the ones from our garden. And so that's my current cheat experiment, and I'm waiting to see the symptoms from that. So yeah, I don't want to cheat on like multiple things at once because then you don't know what's messing you up. So I'm on the tomato journey right now. So the cacao journey got pushed back in the priority list. Someone says, also loved clearing beings from the sinuses and being agreements with dreams and then flower healing. So good. Oh, good. I'm glad you liked all that. Someone says, I'm not sure if I should do cacao ceremony. Your angels say no. Oh, yeah, that's true. They're wanting me to mention lemon balm tea. I recently, my phone's noisy. I recently did, well, I'm growing lemon balm plants in the garden, but long story, they're not that big yet. But so in the meantime, I bought dried lemon balm leaves, and that I found is nicely centering. It's kind of like a meditative thing. So your angels suggest that as like a safer alternative. There's no caffeine, there's no sort of buzz to it, but it is really nicely centering, at least I think. Lemon balm, 2 words, lemon balm, BALM. But you could buy, lemon balm tea on, I got some loose leaf lemon balm tea on Amazon. I could give you the link if you wanted. You could post under a video. But I mean, you could just search for it. But anyway, it seems like your angels prefer that versus the cacao. I drink green tea also if it's early enough in the day. I mean, not a lot of it. Really weak strength green tea when I meditate. So this is, how did my daughter, and you're mentioning her initials do, is there anything her spirit wants to tell me right now? She says, Mom, you're embarrassing me. And then she just says, I'm older than you think. You keep thinking I'm like just a baby, but I have big ideas. And she's like, I know a lot. So that's what she wants to tell you. Mom, I know a lot. You're saying, thanks for the healing. I was feeling jittery from drinking caffeine this morning. I quit caffeine, but had some today. Now I feel much more settled. Oh, that's nice. And maybe you could try lemon balm tea. Or just tone down the caffeine. Like when Gen Maicha green tea is the one that we're using right now, which has little roasted rice in it, roasted brown rice in it. And I just use like a rounded teaspoon of green tea with this much water. So it's pretty weak sauce tea, but it's nice. It feels a little centering. Just turn on your Kundalini. Maybe that's what you're missing. Like turn on your Kundalini chakra a little bit. Sometimes as a mom, maybe because you're trying to get the kids to calm down and turn off their, because Kundalini, when kids are going nuts, their Kundalini's like blasting and they're like, I'm never going to sleep and you can't make me, and so you're trying to get them to turn off their Kundalini for bed. So I think a lot of times moms just keep their Kundalini off, but then you miss your pep. you know, and so sometimes having caffeine just kind of turns on your kundalini. So you could turn it on yourself, you know, at a low level. I have different videos on kundalini, spelled Kundalini, Kundalini, Kundalini. It's a chakra right below your first chakra, and you can moderate how much of it you generate. Goes up your spine, the energy of it, and you can just do a mellow amount of it, and that kind of makes you feel, you know, a little peppy. You turn it off for sleep. But anyway, I'm glad the healing helped. So this is Janet. Thank you for answering my question. It was so helpful to hear your experience, and it's good to hear about removing the energy rather than being reactive to it. Oh, yeah, about the motorcycle people and everything. Some of this, oh, and the tall, rich Catholic, yada yada. Thanks for third chakra and stairs info. That's very interesting and relevant. Oh, well, good. My staircase is kind of dangerous, so thanks for the tip. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was a very dangerous staircase that we had, and thank God the angels had my back. I mean, if it's not your time to die, you don't die, you know, but I mean, it can get pretty dangerous. So yeah, be in your third chakra before you take stairs, before you go downstairs. Someone says, I am so glad my daughter is getting this healing at 17. It warms my heart. Yeah, I know. So cool, isn't it? Yeah, I watched her a couple times to make sure that she was clearing, like when I was doing the Meridian work. Yeah, super cool. I wish I had gotten these healings at 17. At any childhood age. It would have been amazing. So it says, thank you, Jana. I need to work on my coordination. Third chakra, I am a klutz. You should see me with my crutches. Is this from a past life? My little one, and you mentioned her initials, almost has four, almost four, has 2 left feet. He is also a klutz. Your klutziness is this life. Because if I look at your last past life, you were not a klutz. Your last past life, you were not a klutz. So there's something in this life where you're always like 2 steps ahead of your body. What I would, you know, a nice unblocking for you, we used to do it like a couple sets ago a lot. Hips and shoulders. Like look at the energy blocks in the first layer around your shoulders and first layer around your hips, and unblock those at the same time. Hips and shoulders, first layer, and also hips and shoulders inside hips and inside shoulders, but first layer. Because it's like you kind of don't like that energy, and so you're like, whatever, and then you just pop ahead and like try to drag your body ahead. And that doesn't work so well. Anyway, so yeah. Your 4-year-old, you mentioned, same thing. Your 4-year-old does the exact same thing. I think if you clear your stuff, that might help your little one to inspire them to work with their angels. I mean, your little one was a klutz in their past life as well, their immediate past life, so they didn't get it from you. Just so you know. But yeah, I would say keep unblocking hips and shoulders so that you click in better and don't walk ahead of your body. So it says, thanks, Janet, about the anxiety staircase. Just gave staircase to my angels and really felt that. Excited to work this more. Oh, good. Someone says, hi, Janet. Thanks so much for the healing. Do my angels have any advice on what I should work on outside of the healings? You have a little bit of what a different lady that I read like maybe 10 minutes earlier has, where you have this, if I look at your dreams for this life, you have like an empty box, and it has to do with sadness from your dad and like unfulfilled dreams that he has of his, and invasive dreams that he's given you. So just like I said to her, like you are making big dreams, but it's much easier on the astral for you to make big dreams for your next life and your life after that than it is for you to make dreams for this life. It's like you keep bumping up against all this junk from your dad and some, it seems like a, not from your mom, but like your mom's sister, like different family members from the this life's family tree. So just like I told that lady, just imagine any junk in your dream space for this life now. And just especially from your dad, but everybody, from everybody, you know, stuff, their baggage about unfulfilled dreams of theirs, their baggage about what they think you should do, whatever, and just keep clearing that out, because then I think that you'll be able to create more big dreams for this life in particular for you. So I hope that helps. So this is feeling pressure on my face. I know we did sinus work. Yeah, I would imagine UB 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and you can watch the UB video if you want. But 1, 2, and 3 I think would be good enough. And they go straight up, 1, 2, 3. You know, that UB meridian stands for urinary bladder meridian. And we got those repaired, but there's like a lot of pressure of like energy blocks, like right in front of those, like your first layer in front of UB 1, 2, and 3. So just keep on blocking the energy blocks in front of, because it's like there's this big mat of blocked energy right there. And since you're in more, you feel like that weird hard blocks right there. So just keep working on melting the junk like right in front of those those points. I don't think you have any beings in the way. It's just a lot of blocked energy that was there before, but now you feel it more because you're in those points more than you were. So yeah, so keep unblocking UB 1, 2, and 3, and your first layer of your aura right in front of UB 1, 2, and 3. I think that'll help the pressure a lot. Someone says, thanks, I'll search. Oh, for lemon balm tea. Someone says, ooh, I love Genmaicha, which is a type of green tea with roasted rice in it. We'll try lemon balm tea. Oh, nice. Yeah, and lemon balm tea has no caffeine. It's I think it's in the mint family, so it's slightly cooling, but you know, in the summer that's no problem. If you have chills, you know, then watch how much of green tea is slightly cooling too, apparently. So, but it's gently cooling. So, but you know, if you're cold all the time, you know, maybe limit the cooling stuff like green tea and lemon balm tea. But if you're not cold all the time, then you know, maybe that's not a big deal. It's just to be aware of that both those teas have a slight cooling effect internally. But in the summer, that's especially helpful. Okay, cool. And I am not a professional Chinese medicine expert, which is probably clear from listening to me, but just in case it's not. All right. Well, you guys are amazing and awesome, and I am not going to show my dogs because I don't want to validate his mouthiness any more than I already have, unfortunately. So I'm going to just end with maybe a gardening update. So I've planted zucchini and this kind of squash that like looks like little spaceships. I hope they're going to do well. And delicata squash, that is a kind of squash that's like yellow. It's really cool. So I planted that stuff. I planted one basil plant. That's it, because I didn't have more time. No, I planted a kind of Thai basil called Siam Queen Thai basil, and then I planted an Italian basil that is actually from Africa, so I think it's more heat resistant, which is good. But I have a lot more basil that I haven't planted yet, but it's gonna get pretty hot today, and then it's gonna get hot tomorrow, so I'm waiting until we get a little more mild temperatures, because I don't do well in super heat but I think new plants might not do well if I plant them in super heat. So anyway, after Tuesday will be good planting, but then I'll be finishing up the healing summary in the live stream, so I'll probably plant more on Wednesday onward. So that's exciting for me. All right, you guys are awesome. Take care. And I will do another live stream in 2 days on Tuesday. Again, still on the theme, dream big. All right, take care. You're very, very cool.